Hi Kiwi, and welcome back to another episode of Hades 1. This is our mirror setup for the day. I'm going to be taking Infernal Soul and God's Legacy because we are going to be hunting for the Artemis Ares Duo Boon Hunting Blades. We're going to be taking the aspect of Arthur on the sword. I'm going to have to learn to depend on its sword aura to reduce damage and slow down enemies. We are taking 2 levels of hard labor, 1 level of lasting consequences, maxing out convenience fee jury summons, extreme measures 4, maxing out benefits package, middle management, 1 level of forced overtime, 1 level of heightened security, maxing out damage control, and 1 level of tight deadline. This is not how I recommend you do 32 heat on a Pact of Punishment, but this is how I'm going to do it to make it work for the sword because I am counting on hunting blades to carry me through this run. Ares, give me a good cast, please.
Ah, there you are, my kin. I have a gift to aid your bloody work.
Come on. Alright, well, lowest tiered cast, but it is okay. The reason why I took damage control here is because I expect that the Blade Rifts will be able to deal with them. Oh, hey, a second Ares already. That's amazing. I expect that the... What's the word? I expect that my Blade Rifts will be able to deal with damage control well enough. Because, my goodness, does the aspect of Arthur otherwise suck at getting rid of damage control shields. It is one of the slowest weapons in the game. Ooh, well that's a nice looking engulfing vortex. Your Blade Rift effects last 0.4 seconds longer and pull foes in. That will help us a ton. And a key for rerolls, very helpful here. The reason why I'm taking this mirror setup, because I openly again acknowledge that this is, just put it lightly, suboptimal. To put it more appropriately, completely unrecommended, especially for a weapon if you don't feel confident in. You should not take extreme measures for. But honestly, I think for me, because because Arthur is just such a slow weapon, especially in the early phase of the run, it's just a lot more reliable for me to take an easier Tartarus. So what I'm doing is I'm accepting that I'm making Tartarus a lot easier for myself at the cost of making the later game much harder. But if we do get a good Blade Rift build going, that shouldn't matter as much as my hope. Whether that is reality or not, we will find out soon enough. Getting our first palm on the cast, and we'll go for Chaos because every cast enhancing boon that Chaos can give us is another step towards a really powerful build later on.
Son of Hades, out of the infinitely spanning possibilities before us, Son of Hades, I have arbitrarily selected only 3 again from which to let you choose.
Does that include rerolls? Let's see. Cast does 31% more damage or increased rarity on boons. This would better help set us up for duos later, potentially. Honestly, I think this is another aspect of I'm gonna make it harder for me in the early game, but stronger in the later game. Let's see. We'll take the nectar here because that'll give us a palm level on the cast. We're stacking up a fair bit of damage on the cast already, which is nice for us. The move speed reduction is a little bit rough. But the nice thing is, honestly, Engulfing Vortex is an amazing pull this early, especially a high tier one, because it makes our Blade Rifts last longer, which is enhancing our damage, but more importantly, it sucks enemies in. And the Blade Rift is not reliable until you get Hunting Blades, in my opinion. It misses enemies, it bounces around, and enemies can easily walk out of it.
What's for sale?
Engulfing Vortex makes up for that weakness. It keeps enemies locked on, and it doesn't necessarily home, but it makes kind of enemies. It's almost as if it makes enemies home into the Blade Rifts themselves, because it forces them to kind of get sucked in. So even though I'm not aiming at enemies necessarily, the enemies are getting pulled in and getting hit regardless. Some enhanced witches, you know, the 2 levels of hard labor, I do feel a little bit. Maybe I should have gone for 2 levels of lasting consequences instead. Hard labor is rough. My one thought on making it a little bit easier on myself is the fact that if I'm not standing in melee range, I'm not going to get hit as often, but I guess I can make just as good an argument for lasting consequences in that regard. Objectively speaking, I don't know what is the correct choice here.
Excellent. But
now at least we have enough coin to afford a god boon, and Athena showing up here to potentially give us her dash will help a lot. Of course, this thing immediately dashes out of our range. Thankfully, this thing is fairly easy to dodge, so as long as I position well, I can probably make do. I'm gonna wait to pop Sisyphus until its HP is low in the red, and now we drop Sisyphus and hope that he actually chooses to target it. It does. There we go. Brilliant Boldy.
my boon from Master K.
Strength and wisdom guide you from the darkness, Zagreus.
And thankfully, Chaos's boon pops before we get the boon here, so we get enhanced rarity chance on this too. I really would have preferred seeing Athena's dash Her special isn't wrong. I just need to make sure that I keep a core boon for Artemis, who honestly would be great on the attack, so that's fine. So we'll take Athena's special here, sure. Actually, do I reroll for her dash? There's a genuine consideration for that. There are too many boons she could offer us. I'm just going to take the special. It's a good special. I shouldn't complain about it. It gives us some amount of reliability. Poseidon here, less appealing. I'm going to skip him for the coin. We do not have Underworld Customs on, I believe, which means I don't have to worry as much about having to give up boons that I really want to keep a hand on or keep a hold of. I'm trying to practice it with the sword where I can, but 32 heat with these sorts of stipulations probably isn't the best place for it, honestly. So that's why I'm going for just a run that has reliability over practice, I suppose is how I would read into it. I do not know where my other cast stone is. I would love to find it so I could pick it up and toss out some more blade rifts. But here's an example of why I felt I'm going to be depending on my blade rifts very heavily to keep myself alive. So I'd really rather not stymie my potential or stymie my run with a tight deadline, because realistically speaking, I am going to run up against a 7-minute tight deadline and almost guaranteed of the majority. If I'm not attacking nearly as much as I am tossing out cast, and specifically a cast that is not reliable, not fully reliable yet, it's just a bad idea for managing tight deadline. Darn it, I just barely missed staggering this guy. The other thing is, why did I take only one level of forced overtime? It's because Arthur attacks so slow, I'm prone to getting hit when I have forced overtime level 2 on. We'll take another key here. I shouldn't have to worry about re-rolling for the rest of the run. Assuming we aren't completely cursed by RNG, which I wouldn't put it past it. We have had some really bad RNG the last couple 32 heat runs, honestly, to the point of it being almost laughable. But 30, honestly, I don't know why. It's only a 20% difference, but that 20% difference on attack and movement speed on enemies is palpable. It is very noticeable. And the other reason why, the reason why I decided to go hunting blades for the aspect of Arthur specifically is this sword aura slows enemies down, so that'll make it really easy to keep enemies kind of stuck in the blade rifts. So I would assume. Oh my goodness, I got clipped by that witch. But that's the plan. That's the plan, and we'll see how it plays out. Obviously, Aspect of Poseidon is probably the best cast sword for obvious reasons. It's the only sword that actually enhances the cast. But that doesn't mean we can't make it work on other weapons. That said, I'm still eating a whole lot of damage that is otherwise, I would presume, avoidable. That one especially. Unfortunate. I misplayed that terribly. Oh my goodness, I am aiming for these traps. Okay, this is what I meant by having a slow start in Tartarus. There is no getting around that. This is a painfully slow start in Tartarus. If I had tight deadline level 2 on, I would not be making it to the Furies in time. I'm also going to be counting on Boldy, I think, a bit, just to make up for my lack of survivability and the pain that hard deadline, or lasting consequences and hard labor cause to us. I will probably drop the Boldy here. I know it's entirely a waste. It's exclusively for the sake of getting some HP on the field that I can use later. I'm not planning around getting out of this completely unscathed after all. There we go. All right, not the worst chamber, and we can heal for it. Breaching / attack deals 300% to armor is amazing for us, I would say. Anything to clear armored enemies, which are going to be the bane of my existence, they don't get staggered, and anything that doesn't get staggered
Fishing time, then.
leaves me very little option to get away from after landing an attack.
A fine catch.
Very happy to see that. I guess maybe I should lock in my 4th god. Or actually, hold on. We have Ares, we have Athena. We don't have Artemis yet, and I don't think we've taken a 3rd god, so if I see another god boon, regardless of who it is, I will take it, because most importantly, we get 4 gods in and start avoid the potential dilution of our god pool. A nice, happy fountain chamber. Love to see it. Definitely need that. Dionysus wouldn't be bad here, honestly. We'll take, I presume, the mid shop here. Nope, it's the end shop. Okay, Hermes and... oh, another Ares. Okay, so we still can't get Ares duo with Artemis, since Artemis isn't here, but we definitely take the Ares here. Oh! Okay, that helps. That helps a lot. Vicious Cycle. Your blade rift's effect deal more damage for each consecutive hit. We are stacking up to an extremely strong late game. And Flurry Cast. Let me double check. I don't think Hermes Legendary is terribly good for this. Let's see. Greater Recall. Your cast stones return to you automatically. Actually, I could make a decent argument for that for us. is it better than going for rush delivery though? Probably not. So I think I will take hyper sprint nonetheless. But that was okay. We are potentially getting very stacked in the early game, and if we had made it to Meg or the Furies, we would have had 1 minute and 16 seconds to kill them if I took 2 levels of tight deadline. So realistically speaking, I probably could have cleared this in 7 minutes.
He's ready. How about we go once more for old time's sake?
But genuinely, the only reason for that is because I got lucky with a double Ares room and got Engulfing Vortex epic level, which helps a lot with overall DPS on the early parts of the floor. Meg, you want to come over to my Vortex? Perfect. Yeah. All right. I still think I need to depend on my attack largely for the damage here, but it doesn't mean I can't use my cast to my advantage. That said, if I'm going to be eating hits like this, not ideal. Unfortunately, Meg is really good at dodging our attacks, and I am not good at dodging hers. All right, maybe if I kite her around a little bit. That might be the optimal play, is if I can toss out Blade Rifts and then kite Meg through them. But to do that well is a question in its own right. Come on, Meg, get hit by them a little bit. Nope, okay. I think I'm just going to have to play legit here, unfortunately, as much as I'd rather not. Although if she does this kind of a move, I can probably get some good hits on her. Not really. All right, I'm going through this will I, won't I kind of thing with Meg over and over again. Oh, gosh. Toss these Blade Rifts so she walks through them, potentially. Yeah, okay, she took some damage from him. I am playing super safe, and I don't think it's paying off, because as safe as I'm trying to play, I'm still getting hit by left and right by just about everything. It's unfortunate that we got a triple Furies room. Oh, if she's going to stand still, this will be some good damage on her. Nope, not even. Meg, would you maybe cooperate just a teensy bit? There we go. That's cooperation right there. That should hurt you. That's some good damage. Even if it's a little bit, I'm going to have to drop the Sisyphus. I'm going to wait for her to come to me. I'm going to drop my special for safety. Come here. Perfect. And this should finish her. Oh, wait. Nope, she had one more phase. Darn it, I forgot. All right. Look, I'm not dead yet. I'm just trying. I'm trying really hard to die. And these witches are not helping. Get out of here, you.
Watch your step.
Oh, perfect. She's standing still. This is exactly what we needed. This is a good pattern for us. Or it would have been if it actually worked. All right, I am pussyfooting around Meg so hard here. It's either get hit or don't. And it's going to be get hit. If I want her to die, I have to accept that I'm going to take some damage.
Fine, then.
All right, that was a really, really messy Meg fight, but we made it out. We made it out of Tartarus without a Death Defiant. It's consumed, which I think is worth acknowledging. Yeah, really rough play. Again, I'm not confident in the sword the way I am with Rama and Hestia and basically
the combined might of the Furies.
Don't mind me, Father.
basically every
Which one?
every other weapon at this point. Maybe less so the spear, but even the spear I feel pretty darn good at. All right, we're gonna take the Athena keepsake, the Adamant Arrowhead. We're gonna see what we can buy here. We can cast damage, not bad, but I think I sit on my coin here. Nothing here I want to sell, but good news is I didn't take Underworld Customs because I took a really silly Act of Punishment. I'm feeling the consequences of taking, well, lasting consequences, but more so hard labor. Hard labor is, the damage is ramping up. And Asphodel is going to be annoying until we get Hunting Blades. The reason for that is enemies here really like to jump around very long distances, which means I'm not going to reliably be getting to hit them. I am feeling the weakness of a lack of, like, this is again why I said we need, before I even consider, this is why I made my Pact of Punishment choices the way I did, because right now I don't have a reliable way of dealing with damage control spamming enemies if it weren't for Blade Rift. And I am genuinely, like, the only reason I have made it this far, frankly, is because I got Engulfing Vortex. Engulfing Vortex was such a huge and important pull for my overall, like, success chances. I could really do with, oh wait, what am I doing? I have Athena's special. I can melt these witches. I kind of forgot about it because I didn't use it at all. I should have used it in the last fight too. Actually, our special does a fair bit of damage. Maybe I depend on that a little bit more. Okay, that's my fault. I completely forgot I had a boon that I specifically chose for what it is doing right now. Oh well. I also have to keep in mind that I do have the hammer that makes my my attacks melt through armor. Let's see. Ooh, our second Hermes. Let's see if we can get rush delivery. If we can't get rush delivery, I won't complain about flurry cast, because I guess his legendary for casts with Stygian Soul isn't terrible. It's just not preferable to what I could have. So I think my strategy right now is kite around my blade rifts, use my special when they're out. Because my attack is too slow, my special at least pushes enemies away, which makes it a little bit safer. And if they use a projectile, I can reflect it at them. For armored enemies, maybe I use the attack, but I think generally I'll stick to using my special where possible.
Not now.
Get rid of that Skulltomaton as soon as possible. See, I know some enemy names. Oh, well, I just got it. Doesn't matter if I know enemy names if I'm still getting hit by them. I will remember the name of the enemy that slayed me is basically the vibe I'm casting out right now. I probably accept that I'm going to use a Death Defiance at some point pretty soon and hold on to my Sisyphuses for later, because they may get me out of a pinch that is more concerning. Like, Extreme Measures 3 is going to be scary. The Heroes fight, especially if I get an Asterius mini-boss that I have to take because he offers a boon I really want, it's going to be rough. This is going to be a very slow Asphodel, though. Again, it's very slow.
Come on, cuz. Let's pick up the pace a bit.
Very slow early game for a very strong late game is our goal. Greatest Reflex here, really not a bad choice. Would give me a lot of extra survivability, but I'm going to roll. Let's see what we get.
Any other boons for me?
Side Hustle, Greater Evasion. I'm going to use one more reroll and we'll take whatever we're stuck with. Flurry cast or Greatest Reflex 1. I mean, if I don't have to kite around getting my stones back, it's not a bad option. I'll go for this and hope that we set up for his legendary. Either Rush Delivery or his legendary aren't bad choices here. Now, I think with tight deadline in mind, maybe I take the shop here, but that palm on the cast has pretty significant diminishing returns. Let's take the easy free chamber here. The little bit of extra damage that I will get from a palm probably isn't worth the amount of damage I take. Oh, you know what? We can afford this god. Now, hold on. Do I have... I only have 2 gods now, so whoever this is who we'll take. Hi, Poseidon. Actually, oh, you know what? Poseidon here really isn't a bad choice. Because Poseidon can give us Mirage Shot, which would be very fun. Alright, one thing though, I would really, really prefer Artemis's attack, but I do not want to waste a reroll here. So the question is, can I get Mirage Shot with Artemis's dash? I cannot. I need Artemis's aid. Can I get Hunting Blades with Artemis's aid? I wouldn't find that in the Poseidon boons. Hold on, Artemis. Alright, let's look at Hunting Blades. Hunting Blades, I can take Artemis's aid. So we'll take Artemis's aid here, or hopefully we'll be offered Artemis's aid. And then for Mirage Shot, we'll need to take Artemis's aid as well. Okay, so that's how it'll have to be. Ideally, I would have gotten... I kind of almost want to reroll for Poseidon's Call. Between the two, Artemis's Call is way less... Artemis's attack is better, and Poseidon's Call is better. Tidal Dash isn't bad, but I want to save that for Athena if I can. So I think ultimately I need these rerolls for chances at Hunting Blade, so I'm going to take the attack. It's not great, but it is what it is.
The ocean's fury.
Hopefully Artemis offers her cast here. I cannot take her dash. It will not offer us anything. It will not offer us the things that we need to get what we want. See, this is an example of what I was meaning when I said I bet... oops. This is what I mean when I was saying that I bet that the aspect of Arthur synergizes well with Hunting Blades, because I was able to keep that witch trained on Hunting Blades a little bit longer. Need to remember I have Athena's special. It is very good for what I want, which is to reflect these projectiles back at the witches, except it's so slow that I still couldn't get it off in time. That feels bad, man. Oh man, I ate a lot of hits here.
Farewell.
How about I join you for this hunt, okay?
Those hits were largely unnecessary. Okay, Artemis's aid, there it is. Now we can potentially get Hunting Blades as well as Mirage Shot, both of which are incredible duo boons, but obviously between the two, we care a lot more about Hunting Blades compared to Mirage Shot. It's only 30% more damage.
Majesty, I'll have him back to work on time. You hear that, Orphe?
Yes. Alright, so Ambrosia Delight has a lot of things it could potentially hit. There's no point in taking it here. We go for Refreshing Nectar and hope that we see some good Artemis Ares boons, because between the Chaos boon we got earlier and now Refreshing Nectar, there's a sizable chance that the next Artemis room we see gives us either Mirage Shot or Hunting Blades, and Ares is almost guaranteed to give us Hunting Blades.
I have a feeling this is not going to take much time at all.
Alright, I hope so, Than, because actually, technically it doesn't, because you have paused the timer. Is that what you mean when you show up, you pause the timer? Therefore, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to outspeed Ares in terms of killing things fast, but maybe if I actually try to hit them, I could kill things quickly. I honestly may just have to accept that this is going to be a slower chamber. Because there are a few chances for me to out DPS Than here. I'll try. But if he does like his AoE kill circle and I get caught, they get caught in it, there's no much saving them from me, or from Than rather. If I can at least tie him, that would be great. Okay, managed to steal a kill there, but yeah, this is actually where Hermes Legendary would be pretty helpful if it just drew these projectiles to us, or our cast storms to us. Unfortunately, him doing these big AoEs does make it very hard to kill faster than him, because he kills a bunch of enemies at once, and they're caught in my aura. So yeah, there's no saving me from, there's no winning against Than here. Oh well. No extra HP, but at least he did save us some tight deadline. I'll just let him finish the room then.
A palm of power.
Situation is under control.
If nothing else, we get another palm level on Slicing Shot, which is quite good.
That, I guess. See you.
Thanks for the help, Than. I won't complain about a free chamber thanks to you, although really would have liked to have an extra something extra. All right, we've got our first Artemis room. So again, with Refreshing Nectar, this is a Golden Laurel Artemis even. So there's a pretty solid chance we get a duo here. And it is Hunting Blades. There we go. Okay, Kiwi. The run is officially online. This is everything we've been building up to. The damage is here. Now what we want is Mirage Shot and try to build around fully loaded from Artemis's Legendary.
Why, Lerner, you are looking positively fabulous, I have to say.
Because you know what's better than 3 Hunting Blades? 4. Or 5, rather, because she gives us 2 extra cast stones. Which is incredible! I do need to be a little bit mindful about taking unnecessary damage here, but thankfully 2 heads are popped, and this third one won't last for very long with what we've got. Alright, so this is what that slow start was about. This is what's going to make the entire run pay off. Now, mind you, I have Extreme Measures 4 on, with 2 levels of Hard Labor. And Lasting Consequences. I am still going to have a very rough Hades fight. I can't entirely depend on Hunting Blades alone to carry my victory. To carry me to victory. I have to play smart. I need to use my Sword Aura. I need to position well, and I'm basically going to just play super cheesy. Is really what it boils down to. I'm going to play so cheesy, but a win is a win, and that's what all I care about. I want to say I beat 32 heat with the aspect of Arthur, and that's all I want to say. I don't need to say I beat it with flying colors. I didn't beat it with skill. I beat it with gimmicks and cheese, and you know what? I love cheese, Kiwi. I love bread. I love cheese. I am losing the point of this commentary, but you get what I'm trying to say, right? I'm not above playing lame to win the game. We almost have enough call juice or god gauge to get the Artemis call, a greater call. The thing about Hunting Blades is it does generate a lot of god gauge very quickly, I imagine, because it's multi-hit. And like so. Bye, Lerny! Yeah, Artemis's individual calls are terrible. Artemis's greater call, objectively terrifying if you get lucky crit rolls. If you don't, it leaves a little to be desired, but it's not terrible. Alright. On to Elysium. This is really where the run can either be made or broken. I guess the real question is... Ooh, I do want that Light of Ixion if I could get it. I could re-roll here and sell something else. I don't really want to sell, but that would let us be able to afford the Light of Ixion, which could give us another cast stone, and that would be huge for our overall DPS. I don't mind selling Artemis's or Athena's special. There aren't many things that I have that I want to sell. Flurry Cast I could make an argument for. I'd rather not. But yeah, basically, I think at this point, Poseidon's Attack I could make an argument for as well. Is it? It's kind of worth it, isn't it? I don't know. Oh, you know what I'll just do? I'll take Coin Purse here. I'll just take Coin Purse. Then I don't have to give up things I need or want. And I get the Chaos Gate. I'm probably going to lose the Death Defiance because of the HP loss to the Chaos Gate. Elysium, no matter what, is rough at higher heat, and with my current Pact of Punishment setup, it's going to be rough. Like I said, we have an easier early game, and I mean, for an easier early game, I still kind of ate it a bit. I don't really care about the hammer. As we said before, we're hunting for cast enhancement, so we'll go for this Chaos Boon. Hope that it gives us something really good in trade for a not so terrible debuff. Ooh. We never get to see the legendary from Chaos. Slippery Defiance. For the next 4 encounters, you cannot collect your bloodstones. Afterwards, gain a Death Defiance. That... that's actually not worth taking. Like, I'd love that Death Defiance, but not at the cost of losing my entire option for DPS. On the other hand, taking 30% more damage for 4 encounters, but getting 70% more cast damage, that sounds pretty appealing. I will take that. We'll take the key for a reroll here. A shame about that legendary. I wouldn't mind an extra Death Defiance. It's just, it's not worth the cost. The cost was too great. All right, so here's the plan. We tossed out the Sword Aura, and we just kite around my Blade Rifts, and then I don't have to stand near any enemies that could do me harm. That's the plan. We'll see if those Flame Chariots let it happen that way or not, but we've got decent damage. Would love to get, we definitely want to see pressure points in Hunter's Mark if we can get it from Artemis. That would be great. But if I had to choose, I will take pressure points first, and then I will have to take support fire because we want fully loaded. You cannot. Oh wait, no, yeah, I don't know if she can give us. Why did those guys instantly die? Oh, interesting. Do Void Stones die if there are no enemies to shield? Or did I just melt them so fast that I didn't realize? Not sure which. I kind of want to take this HP, but it's not reliable. It's an 8% chance to see HP on the floor from an enemy that's killed. We will take this hammer now. I'd rather not do an Erebus Gate. I'm more than likely going to get hit. And it's worth it because now we got a, we conveniently got a Fountain Chamber. Double Edge is brilliant. That's basically doubles our attack damage as long as I'm dash striking and deals 20% damage more on top of that. Double Nova, I like the push away effect that we have. I'll take the coin here because there are still some things we want from the shop, and being able to afford another God Boon will help us immensely. Oh goodness. I do need to be mindful about witches, but you know what? I have Athena's Special, and you know what Athena's Special does to splitters? It deletes them from existence. As long as I position correctly, mind you, but not hard to do. And with Sword Aura kind of holding things in place, you can pretty reliably get those reflects off.
Come meet my blade.
I do need to be careful around butterfly balls, though. Kind of wasted that Artemis call to pop the shield on that butterfly ball, but it's fine. I think... Okay, good. Our special does, in fact, destroy butterfly ball butterflies, but killing butterfly balls also destroys butterfly ball projectiles, so probably the better way to do it. This is a lot of projectiles, but I have a lot of reflect. You know what? I'm making a strong argument in this room for how much I would enjoy actually getting Hermes legendary here. It is hard to keep track of where my cast stones are landing. All right, what do we got as our next chamber? Mini boss with Ares. Ooh. We could get black metal, which would enhance the size of our cast. Alternatively, I'd take the shop. It's a free chamber. It's no mini boss. I, objectively speaking, have most of what I need. Larger Blade Rift size is fun, not strictly necessary, and would be better spent, and our last Refreshing Nectar would likely be better spent on Artemis. I'm gonna hope Artemis shows up here, but I will buy whatever boon shows up. Oh, well, it's Ares either way. Okay, well, a free Ares without having to take a mini-boss isn't the end of the world here. Or not a free, but, you know, an Ares without having to take a mini-boss. I wouldn't mind getting black metal, but I'm not going to waste a reroll here for that. Is there anything else Ares could offer? I mean, Blood Frenzy really isn't bad. I'm going to lose a Death Defiance to Hades, so getting that extra damage in his room isn't bad. Probably the route I'm going to go. Yeah, let's take Blood Frenzy here. Ares Dash, not a bad idea for funsies. Alright, we will take the Patroclus room. I'm not going to get any mini-bosses this floor because we've seen our two options for mini-bosses now.
But here comes our guest. Return to take more of these trinkets off my hands, have you?
If that's what you're going to call them. We will take this Kiss of Styx Premium because that refunds a Death Defiance. It gives us effectively, it gives us basically a free 360 gold because that's how much the Death Defiance would have cost to buy. At this point, HP is probably more valuable to me than palms because realistically speaking, I'm not going to be palming things that I want with good chance. So I'd rather go with something that gives me a little bit more reliability, a little bit more consistency, than risk taking damage and not getting anything major out of it. If we had more Artemis boons, I probably would have rethought my decision on that, but it's fine. Again, using the sword aura here to slow enemies and keep them in Blade Rift more reliably. Thankfully, these guys aren't benefits packaged in any way, so I can pretty reliably evade them. Yeah, like, I'm at the point of the run where I just don't even play the sword the way it's meant to be played. We are playing a cast build, proud and true, and I have no shame about it. I will have a 32 heat win at the end of this if I play it right. And I think, again, that's all that matters here. Just keep everyone in the sword aura, and since we have it, let's go ahead and pop these guys with a nice juicy Artemis casting call, I guess. I did have to let that one respawn. Oh, it didn't respawn. Oh, did it? No, it must have. It's still alive. Okay. Okay. Drop my sword aura, pick up my cast stones, because I don't know where the second one is. There we go. That call didn't hit anything of value there, unfortunately. But I think we've got this chamber, and like it's by far and away not the fastest Elysium chamber, but we didn't take that much damage, and we actually netted positive, I think. Ooh, that trial. Ooh, that trial looks so tempting for me. I have to, Kiwi. Forgive me, I have to. Could throw a Death Defiance for this, but it's worth it if I get some good boons out of it. Of the two, Artemis is easier for me to contend with in typical fashion, so we'll take Ares first and hope for black metal. We didn't get it. Before I take Curse of Vengeance, let me see if that sets him up for tier 2s that I don't want. It does, for Impending Doom at least. I probably would rather not take it then. But Battle Rage really doesn't do much for us, so I guess I will reroll here? It feels like a bit of a waste. I probably shouldn't. Alright, let's take Battle Rage. It's not going to do much for us. I could sell it maybe for some coin to get up God Boon later.
Messing with my feelings, Zagreus. My loyalty's hard won and quickly lost.
You would think by now Artemis would like be so sick of us because we never choose her. We almost never choose her first in these trials. She should be like very sick of us by now for that reason. Yet I mean, maybe it's because we take her boon so often that her favor returns to us. I needed to be careful about not grabbing my bloodstones while they were in that egg. But yeah, Artemis must be sick of our betrayal, like so tired of the constant betrayal that we put towards her. Because I think there are only very few instances where I have not chosen a god alternative to Artemis, because I honestly consider her
What are you doing?
the easiest to contend with. Oh, I forgot. So there is an achievement in this game for using a greater call of the god you're betraying in the greater trials, or in the trials. And they have custom dialogue for it too, fun fact.
You know what? I decided not to kill you, Zagreus. No sport in cornered prey, so here, get on with it.
All right, and you are giving us Hunter's Mark. Okay, pressure points. We take pressure points here because we need 2 boons, and since exit wounds, I don't think we can we still get exit wounds here? No, we can't because we don't have a cast. So we need to take support fire, and those 2 will set us up for fully loaded. We need 2 boons. So pressure points it is. As much as I'd love to take Hunter's Mark, we need pressure points first because I'm not going to be reliably critting anyway else. Okay, this is the end shop, right? Am I mistaken? Hold on, how many chambers are we at? 34, yeah, so this is the end of Elysium. If I take the shop, I can't afford anything. If I take the Athena boon, I'm guaranteed an Athena boon that could be her dash. I think I've said everything I need to convince myself this way. All right, Athena, your dash, please. And there it is, Divine Dash. Alternatively, Last Stand, I do not have a need for a Death Defiance just yet. I'm sure I will soon enough. I doubt I'm getting through Styx and all the way to Hades with all of my Death Defiances intact. Frankly, the heroes are probably going to be the ones that do it to me, but we'll take the dash. That offers a huge amount of survivability, a reliable reflect for projectiles because I'm going to get clipped by Theseus a fair few times.
Asterius and I shall smite you back into the lowest depths of hell.
All right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to drop a Boldy. I was hopeful I could hit both of them with that, but that's fine. But here's the thing. We're just going to drop Blade Rifts and kite the ever-living heck out of these 2. particularly Asterius, since Theseus is just kind of driving around doing whatever the heck he wants. But I mean, look at that. We've done 2k damage, almost 3k damage to the bolt. He's going to be charging any second now, so I got to be ready for that. But I think we can potentially phase him. Oh my god, how did I not get hit there? That looked like he ran right through me, but there we go. Okay, Asterius is phased. Nice fact, we can crit with our Blade Rifts now. And our Blade Rifts do a lot of damage, actually. And goodbye, the Minotaur. Not a single crit there, I think. Unfortunately, should have seen his HP just melt into 0. Theseus got slowed. Apparently, Theseus getting slowed during his charge messes with his brain, and if he doesn't get to the end of his path, it cancels him out. Interesting. Or he'll finish his charge earlier. All right, he's gonna do this big spin move, which means I get a lot of free damage, and that should finish the Minotaur. There we go. All right. All right, now we drop our sword aura on Theseus so he can't get away. And look at that. See, this is what I thought. This is exactly playing out exactly how I thought. The aspect of Arthur has incredible synergy with hunting blades. He does 2 laps and then he goes slow. And then here we go. All right, I've almost got Greater Call charged again. We grab my cast stones. I get ready for this. When you see his shield flicker, that's your cue to start attacking because he's about to drop his ability. And Artemis, finish off the blowhard for us, why don't you? That was an extremely clean heroes. That would have been an abject mess if I tried to build any other way, other than maybe another like set it and forget it cast build. Like I could definitely see Scintillating Feast working really well with this. I could see Scintillating Feast Icewine combo specifically with Trippy Shot.
The finest of Elysium all failed to thwart you.
And of course, Crystal Clarity, Crystal Embrace, I could see working very well as well. But here we are. We're just on the outskirts of 6 sticks. We've got 8 minutes on the clock, plus another 9 that'll be added when we get to the next floor. So we have all the time in the world that we could possibly want here. I definitely save my coin. Now, what keepsake do I take? I could probably make Distant Memory work, because if I'm just going to run away as soon as I drop my casts, it should add up fairly quickly. Alternatively, I just play it safe like always and take Evergreen Acorn. Realistically speaking, Acorn falls off in Extreme Measures 4 compared to Extreme Measures 3, because, specifically against Hades, because Hades, he during his first phase, he spawns all these mini-bosses, and those mini-bosses don't necessarily always do a ton of damage. For example, the laser stone, the giant gemstone, it'll pop your Acorn really quick, I assume. I have never really confirmed this to know for certain. Lucky Tooth, I don't feel like it's worth it. It's going to be between. I'm just gonna take Acorn. It's always Acorn for me. Anything to sell here? I could honestly. I'm gonna sell Battle Rage. I don't use it for much of anything. Really, at this point, the only thing we're hunting for that would be really funny is either the Athena Artemis duo that I think makes our casts do back attack damage or get back attack modifiers. I think we don't have the prerequisites for it, so we can't really rely on that. The best thing we could see, Mirage Shot and Fully Loaded. So what we need to see right now is basically a minimum of 2 Artemis boons. We still have 4 rerolls. Hermes showing up here would be cool too. Hermes did not show up here. There is no Artemis in the shop, and there can only be 1 Artemis at most here. But we did have Poseidon show up. So I can go for this Poseidon boon first and hope that he gives us Mirage Shot. And I think that's exactly what we're going to do. And we'll start with that. And then I'll do the Artemis Chamber second and hope that we get the 2 Chamber Sticks. Realistically speaking, honestly, of all the runs I've ever had, this is one of the best runs to maybe not necessarily need 2 Chamber Sticks. I like that I know that I still have a long range option in the Artemis cast, so I can use that and then go and pick up things or look for gold pots while I'm killing things from a distance. But sadly, the reality is we will not get fully loaded here, and we didn't get any extra cast stones from Chaos, but when you put it on paper, we did get, what, like almost 80% more cast damage from Chaos Boon, so I do think overall damage-wise, it's more damage if you get the cast stones compared to the cast damage. But I'm not going to complain about this result because, I mean, look at our Blade Rifts just shredding everything they touch. And, I mean, we got Vicious Cycle really early, and we didn't have to wait too long for Hunting Blades, all things considered. So, all in all, this is about as good as I could have hoped the run to go. Especially, but again, like that early Engulfing Vortex carried me in the early game, genuinely. And I will maintain that Aspect of Arthur is not
chambers are a mess.
particularly one of my favorite weapons in any capacity. It's too slow. Like, I can make an argument that like the Hades Spear is slow, but the Hades Spear honestly felt so fun to play once I learned how to cancel my dashes into the into a dash, or can't rather not cancel my dashes, cancel my my charge spin into a cast. Oh gosh, I'm not having great positioning, and I need to be really careful about where these traps are spawning, or where these traps are positioned. Are you just gonna stand here and do nothing? Yes, you are. Okay. I think that probably melted the rat. Oh gosh. I thought everything was dead, so I ran out here. That was a mistake. That was an avoidable mistake. Oh well, that's the nature of traps in 6 and above. They basically one-shot you.
Some sort of splendid-looking weapon there, nephew. Must be another aspect of fair Stygius, my old discarded blade. Never did see that one myself, but I saw many others that were splendid too.
All right, Razor Shoals, not a bad option because we don't actually have a way of getting any form of status privilege going here now that I think about it. So Razor Shoals, but Mirage Shot, Kiwi. I gotta go for Mirage Shot. Come on, Poseidon. Ooh, a useless one and an amazing one. Mirage Shot it is. That's a 30% damage up for our cast. We love it. I'm really bummed I lost that Death Defiance. That was entirely avoidable and just a huge mistake on my part. I honestly, with the boons that we have in the shop, I may just kind of sit on my coin and hope that a Well of Charon shows up to refund us a Death Defiance. Knowing how things tend to work out, it's probably going to show up after I have, unfortunately, before I get the 360 coin we need. But that would be the best case scenario, and I do have rerolls for it, frankly. Like, I don't have anything else I want to reroll for pretty much, so using my coin for that is not a bad decision here, assuming we even get the option offered, mind you. All right, so hopefully 2 chamber 6. Realistically speaking, it's still okay if we don't get it, but every extension of chamber, every extra chamber I have to clear, the more likely I am to throw the run. Deadly Reversal. Okay, you know what? Honestly, since I can't see fully loaded, Deadly Reversal is probably about the best boon I could have gotten, aside from maybe Hunter's Mark, but even then, Hunter's Mark is hard to reliably use against Hades.
Oh, good. It's still
All
fresh.
So without an Athena on the sword, there's no chance of us getting another Death Defiance unless I go hunting for a pool of Charon.
Coming right up.
I think honestly we just send it. I'll take the HP here. Can I afford HP and Palm? It's one or the other here, but I definitely think I take the HP. Again, the Palm is less likely to hit something that we care about.
Thus has the prince again persuaded fearsome Cerberus to get out of his way.
All right, Extreme Measures 4 with heightened security. The pots will one-shot every bit of HP I have, although realistically speaking they do 150, I have 169, so I can survive one pot if I don't get hit with by anything else. Phase 1 in typical fashion will be the hardest phase for me. And then I just drop Hunting Blades, run around. I'm going to use these pillars in the center of the field to really, like, just kite Hades around and evade him as much as possible.
To fall to me. Would that you paid me such respects back at the house.
He sounds a little miffed. Hades, do you want some hot cocoa? I bet some hot cocoa would improve your mood. Oh man, I just love taking the piss out of this guy. Poor dude. All right, we definitely save up for Artemis's Call, because Greater Call will do so much damage to this poor fellow. I don't know if that almost clipped us, but I don't think it did. He can hit us through these pillars. I've discovered that the hard way. Sometimes he can't. I don't understand the situation when he does have his attacks blocked and when he doesn't. Ooh, Mega Gorgon. Well, thankfully Mega Gorgon really loves to sit still and just get melted by Hunting Blades, so... Oh, well, those were some avoidable hits here. Let's just drop the Greater Call and see how much damage that does. I know what he means when he says leave Olympus out of this, but sometimes I just think, well, aren't you technically part of Olympus too? Hades was originally from Olympus, right? He just ended up taking care of the underworld after the fact, after they parted ways with their Titanous parents, right? Am I mistaken about that? Oh, this is kind of a spooky enemy to have, an enemy that spawns other enemies and does more damage the more times you hit it. But we're melting it. Okay, oh my goodness, that's so many lasers. Well, Evergreen, this is what I meant when I said Evergreen Acorn. It falls off in Extreme Measures 4 because that mini-boss just, like, deletes our Acorn. They heard me name drop it, actually. I name dropped it and was like, this is going to be a problem. All right, we're gonna just drop Artemis. Whoever it kills, it kills. The Gorgon teleported away. He's like, no, I don't want anything to do with that. All right, I really don't even need to bother kiting at this point, or like going for the Mega Gorgon. I think we just melt Hades. Drop my aura. Honestly, maybe the aura that increases the AoE of our, or the hammer that increases the AoE of our aura probably would have been the best option here. All right, there's phase 1 Hades. We've got 2 more phases to go. I've got 2 of my 3 bloodstones. We toss these out early so that I'm not standing next to him when he does this. And now we just kite him. All right, so I forgot Extreme Measures 4 does have Hades spawning pots automatically, but look at him getting stuck there. He's gonna use his laser. I'm gonna do that. All right, hopefully he doesn't pop that laser, but look at that. 3.1k from a full charge of... He's going for more lasers, which means more free damage for us. We have Greater Call. I'm gonna go ahead and pop this. Oh wait, he's gonna get phased. Never mind, that was a waste. Wait, what? 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 Oh, there was a pot next to me. What? It didn't even look like it was there. All right, unfortunately, that was a lot of damage that I could have avoided. Where's my 3rd cast stone? Did it wander off? Is it... No, they're all there. Okay. Oh, goodness. All right, I need to be careful here. Thankfully, with Forced Overtime level 2 on, this is a lot more manageable than many of the other fare. I just have to remember that he swings twice. He's going to summon pots, which gives me a lot of free damage. I'm going to save Greater Call for phase 3 if I can. Here's Cerberus. Get ready to dodge. Whoa, goodness. Oh, my goodness. Well, so much for dodging. He's gonna laser here, which is great for me. He doesn't have any pots, so we just take the free damage. Really a bit bummed about the hits that I took there. That would have hoped to be avoidable. All right, need to regain my cast stones as quick as possible. Save my dash, toss these out, drop my special so he's slow. Look at him getting caught in it. Greater Call.
All right, taking the shot.
Some really good damage there. I know he's gonna be near me any second now, so I'm gonna just drop these immediately. Oh gosh, if I get hit by these pots. Thankfully didn't. Almost did. All right. Little sweaty, little sweaty, little sweaty. Okay, we're gonna bail out. Okay, he's gonna give us free damage. Here's our chance. No Greater Call yet, but we can get some more damage on with him with Blade Rift. Oh, clip. Okay, we're on our final Death Defiance. This is gonna be a little close. Just a little. Darkness is not ideal. I am within 1 shot of a pot killing me. Gosh, that was sketchy. That was so sketchy. I can't kite around these pillars because of the pots. Oh, Artemis, thank you for actually critting there. Whew, that was a little sweaty, but we did it. Okay.
How did you accomplish this?
I played around a gimmick and it worked. That's really all it boils down to. Also, Blood Frenzy, I called it. Blood Frenzy upped our damage by probably about 44%, assuming it's additive there. Huge boon for us, very powerful.
Fair. Well.
Okay, well, far be it for me to not sweat on Extreme Measures 4. Again, this is not how you should run 32 Heat, but for me, it made the most sense for the build I had in mind. And because of it, I get to say I have now officially beaten the 32 Heat with the aspect of Arthur. I will not run this sword again if I have a choice. I mean, I will occasionally if I'm going for a gimmick build, but realistically speaking, this is one of my least favorite weapons by a country mile. Do I like it more than the other swords? I mean, if... kind of, I guess. A strong kind of. But it is not a sword I will ever comfortably take into high heat. But doesn't matter. There it is. Aspect of Arthur. Let's go ahead and honor. What else did we get? We had a pretty strong build. We had, of course, Hunting Blade's Mirage Shot. Probably the biggest pulls there. We didn't get Rush Delivery. Blood Frenzy, I might honestly honor, but you know what I really need to honor? Oh, of course, Vicious Cycle. How could I not remember Vicious Cycle? Oh, hold on. Okay, let's put that first here. Vicious Cycle, Hunting Blade's Mirage Shot, and then... I mean, it's obvious we have Slicing Shot, and 5 levels of Slicing Shot isn't that exciting. I think I have to either put Excruciating Shot, because that was really nice of Chaos, but I honestly... This guy, Engulfing Vortex, was my win con in the early game. There we are, 32 Heat, Arthur complete. And again, I have completely lost track of where we are in the number of 32 Heat runs that I have completed. Thankfully, the archives keeps track of everything, so I can just pop my head back there and check things off. But I don't know, this might be run 11, this might be run 12. We're pretty close to halfway there, though, I'm sure of that.
A sea creature.
But there we go. Whew. Don't do what I did if you're trying to beat 32 Heat.
The wondrous, ever-springing garden of Persephone, Prince Zagreus discovers a greenish plant of some sort, supple-skinned and covered all in spines. A bit too small to see, until it is too late.
Death by cactus. Must have been a very poisonous cactus, I assume, because I don't think most people die from a too small to see cactus. Unless maybe he just, like, stepped on it, but he would have probably cooked it with his flamey feet.
Well, that was interesting.
I don't know.
Nice going. It won't catch me sleeping on the job again.
I enjoy most of all the narrator talking about stories that end Zagreus' life
Welcome home.
when they are the most innocuous things.
I don't know what you want from me.
A hug, affection, just a nice hello. Okay, bye, Than. You're a little cranky today, I guess, because we lost you in the last challenge, maybe?
I've not the faintest doubt that you can do this.
Me neither. Oh, hey, Dusa.
Oh, hi. I'll make sure Cerberus has everything he needs while you're out.
I feel like every time I see Dusa in this playthrough, I say, oh, hey, Dusa.
Shortly before you did.
Funny
Thus
that.
starts and ends our brief exchange of pleasantries.
See you up top.
I have to go again soon, Zagreus, all right? I'll see you soon.
I think probably my favorite narration of how Zagreus dies is either the Roadrunner one where he runs into a fake tunnel that was just, like, it was painted on a mountainside and he runs face first into it. Or, honestly, the goat. I think the goat is the funniest one. 20 gemstones for 2 keys.
Continued success.
Don't know if that's worth it.
Pleases me having these brief exchanges, child.
But alright, Kiwi, let's go say goodnight to Skelly and call it an episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. I definitely sweat it a little bit, but I think that's how it's been for most of these 32 heat runs, aside from the Rama run, because I was running the weapon that I'm best at.
You want another piece of this or what?
But alright, we've got a spear run next. I think we only have 2 spears left. I'll have to double check which ones they are. But with all that said, Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and if you're awake, I hope this is helping you fall asleep. If you're sleeping, I hope you're sleeping well.
To die.
I love you, and I will see you in the next one for some more Hades fun.
I'm alive.